I'm live now. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is to formally welcome you to Module 4 of your Entrepreneurship Development Program under the Amex Associate Limited Consulting. My name is Gabriel, and I'll be taking you through some subjects in sales and marketing strategy, how to effectively market and sell your products in the markets you are about to enter. Welcome. So, we'll be looking at our objectives, why we want to run through this module. We'll be defining marketing and understanding the steps in the marketing process. We will try to know the difference between marketing and selling. And then we'll be looking at key elements in selling our products and the marketing mix that supports it. We'll also be looking at how to improve our selling skills, the importance of market research and information technology and gathering. Then we'll be putting our marketing plan into action eventually. So, what is marketing? We've been hearing the word marketing in banking, marketing in product, marketing in sales, marketing in poultry, marketing in farm produce, marketing in edibles, and so on and so forth. But let us just look at a definite definition of marketing. And as approved by the American Marketing Association, marketing can be defined as a set of activity, a set of institutions and processes that makes way for creating and communicating, delivering and exchanging offerings that have value for the customers. That means that everything that marketing puts out there in the marketplace must add value to the wants and the needs of every customer that we are targeting. In March 29, 2011, Dr. Philip Kotler defined marketing as a science and art of exploring Sorry for the break, it's just a technical issue, but we'll be over with it. I hope I won't have that problem. Sorry for that technical hitch, but let me take us through again. I said marketing is a set of activities or set of institutions and processes that makes way for creating and communicating, delivering and exchanging offerings that have value for the customers. Meaning that every marketing program, every marketing objective must deliver a value for customers. And I said in 2011, Dr. Philip Kotler defined marketing as the science and the art of exploring, creating, and delivering value to satisfy the needs of a target market. At every point in time, every marketing program must be tailored to satisfy the needs of a target customer, which means that before you embark on a marketing program, you already have a customer in mind. You have identified the need of that customer, and your program is tailored to meet the need of the customer in question. By CIM definition, marketing is the management of process responsible for identifying, anticipating, and satisfying customer requirements profitably. At every point in time, whatever marketing strategy you put in place, you must first of all identify, expect, and then satisfy the customer requirements profitably. In that, your marketing strategy will cost you money to put in place, but if it costs you money to put in place, when you finish selling your product or your idea, it should add value to you monetarily. That is what it means by profitable. It's also the process of getting the right products and services. At every point in time, when you are going into the market, your product must be on point. And that is why we say the right products and services to the right customers. You don't take products meant for customer A to customer B. Every product that you churn into the market must be for a specific customer. It must be at the right place. It must meet the customer at the right place. You want to say this like Casera now, you cannot come and put that Casera carton here inside this office that you are selling. No, because this office is not meant for that kind of thing. But you can sell it at the kiosk at the gate because there's a kiosk meant for sales of drinks there. So that's what we mean by the right place. And then the right price. Your price must not be too expensive and it must not be too low, but it must be at the right price, using the right promotion and publicity. Whatever you want to communicate as a product, you must find what suits it, whether it's radio, whether it's TV, whether it's handbills, to communicate it. That way, you can get response from your target customers and the market, essentially. So in summary, marketing is targeted at changing the motive of purchase of your target customer. Your communication should convince somebody to begin to drink like Casera instead of Coke. That is motive of purchase. Nothing is more likely to buy than effective direct marketing. You have already identified your customer, like I said. You must know your customer per time. So everything you package, the message you are packaging, should go to the person directly. That way you get the expected response. It is simply the process of understanding your customer. Number one, you must know your customer. You must know his needs and so on and so forth. And then building and maintaining a profitable relationship with that customer. In that, we'll get to the slide in the front where we'll be looking at customer relationship, customer management. You acquire a customer, you need to have a relationship with that customer, then you manage the customer for the customer to repeatedly be buying the product that you are selling from you. Are we together so far? So let us also define sales. A lot of times people tend to mix up marketing as sales or sales as marketing. But incidentally, they are not the same thing because M is not equal to S and M is not S. Sales can be defined as the exchange of goods for money or compensation. What it means is that you have a product, you sell the product, the other person that bought the product will pay you money for the product or will give you something that is the value of that product. It can be another product. So sales is satisfying the customer's need and want. Are we together so far? Sales is actually the pitch. That is the part of marketing that is concerned with persuading the customer to buy the product or service of an organization. It is the point where you meet the customer face to face, where the customer comes into your shop or meets you in your car stand if you're a car dealer and want to buy from you. Because you are the one selling, it gives you the opportunity to have a direct interface with that customer. So sales, like I said, is the part of marketing that is concerned with putting you face to face with the customer and persuading the customer to buy from you the product or services of your organization. So we can now see clearly that sales and marketing are not the same thing. So how does sales and marketing compare with each other? How do we know the difference? So let's run a comparison between sales and marketing and see what we get out of it. Number one, marketing is like studying the customer's need and wants in a defined market segment. Okay? Marketing is studying that customer's need and want in a defined market segment. While sales is actually making the exchange to happen. When you have identified the need of the customer, you want to sell, it is that point where you release your product and you collect money back for it. Are we together here? Now, number two, marketing measure company image. That's how good the company is in the eyes of people. And then customer satisfaction on a continuous basis. From time to time, you want to see, am I serving people well? Are people happy with me? Are my customers okay with my services to them, right? And then you look at their satisfaction, you want to measure it continuously on a continuous basis. But compared to sales, at this point, sales strive to give the customer the best solution. The salesman is directly in front of the customer all the time. So he understands the need of the customers direct. So he wants to give them the best solution that will solve their problem. If it is not lacasera I want, what do you give me in place of lacasera? Is it malt? Is it this? Is it that? Because I am sitting down or standing before you directly, I can make you make the decision. Marketing, develop communication strategy feedback. When you do publicity, when you do radio advert, when you do TV commercial, how people begin to buy your product, purchase your product, is the feedback you get from the market. Meanwhile, in sales, what you get is direct customer feedback, because it is a one-on-one situation. Either you or your sales boy or your sales team, they are talking to the customer direct, so they can understand what the customer is saying. Marketing develop winning offers for each target segment. Every marketing will segment people who like to eat biscuits, people who like to eat chewing gum, people who like to eat meat pie, and communicate with them separately. That's market segmentation. But sales is like serving the same customers for a long period of time. After marketing has identified these customers, it's the salesman that will be going back to them to supply them or to collect money from time to time. So the salesman has a longer relationship with the customer than the marketer. So let's dissect marketing and look at the P's of marketing in the marketing mix. There are about 7 P's of marketing. We'll be looking at the product itself. Number one, incidentally, I have a bottle of lacasera in my front here. So this is a product. That water you have there, Seaway, is a product. That table phone you have there is a product. This computer is a product. So when we mention product, let's put that at the back of our mind. Then the place, where is this product? Is it in a store? Is it in a warehouse? Is it in a factory? Right? Is it on the street? That's the place of a product. Then the price. How much is that product exchanging for in terms of value? Value is money. The price. Then we have distribution. You have a factory in Maraba and you manufacture or you produce maybe water, for instance, and your water is top grade, so your market is in Wuse, Asokoro, and the central town. How do you move that product from Maraba to the central town, which is your real market? That's the distribution process, where it moves from the factory, the place of production, onto the place of consumption. In between the line, the distribution chain, you could have wholesalers, you could have dealers, you could have sub-dealers, retailers, and then the merchandisers at the end of the distribution chain. You don't carry your product directly and you think you will land at the shop of the man who wants to buy from you. There must be somebody in between who takes off that burden off you at the point in time. But we will be looking at that going forward. Then the promotion and the communication. How do you tell people about this, your particular product? How is it through the radio? Is it through internet? These days we hear about digital marketing and Facebook marketing, WhatsApp marketing, all the online platforms. They use it to now reach people. Is it television, the traditional television commercials? Is it by going for trade exhibition or trade fairs? Is it by sharing leaflets and handbills in the city center or in the suburbs? That is how you communicate your product. Then the promotions, from time to time, you carry out promotion. Maybe you do discounts or percentage offers for how people patronize your product. You hear about buy one, get one free, so on and so forth. When we get to that aspect, we'll break it down. Then the process through which you go, you go through to make this thing happen, the marketing needs it there. Now, what is the product? When we talk about like I said, a product must meet a defined need. You produce seaway water. Why do you produce seaway water? Before seaway water, there was Swan Water. Swan Water was the market leader in Nigeria back then. So other water companies and bottlers started coming up. You understand? And competition started. But before, let us say, use seaway that is right before us now, where it came in. What was the need? Probably the product was too far. The product was being made in Jos. And before the product could get from Jos to Lagos, it takes days, length of seasons, and then, you know what it is with our transportation system. So they have the need in Lagos market or Port Harcourt market, but the scarcity of that product because of what it takes to take the product from Jos to that place. So another person does a research in that market and says, okay, I think that instead of us waiting for Swan that gets here 2 weeks after we order, Seaway has come up here. So that need of scarcity that was created because of distribution channel has been met. That is what I mean by meeting the needs. It must have a defined need. Then for you, number two, about your product, you must establish a demand. You already have a product targeted at certain, a subset of the market. You need to establish a demand. And you can only do that through market testing. And market testing is research. You understand? Before you push your finished products into the market, where and how do people need my product? So suppose I'm into poultry production or fishery, and I have established my farm, and I have placed my product, my finished product, my eggs, my chickens, my how do they call those small ones? The day olds and the rest of them. Where is that market? Through market testing, I will know whether my chicken will go to hotels or it will go to the open market like Utako or Jabi or Gerkitu. And you understand what I mean? Now that means that through market testing, you have established where the demand for your product is. So when you send out that product, you are sure that you will get your money back. Then the last point about your product is that it must have a unique selling proposition, a unique selling point. It must have a difference from what is already in the market. Because before you come out into the market with whatever product you want to have, there is nothing new. Bear that in mind that you must meet competition. Is it that they already existed, or they will come out immediately you start pushing your product in the market? A unique selling proposition is a clear definition of the benefits and the features that your product have that differentiate your product from the competitors and others in the market. So This your differentiation point can be evolving, can change as long as you are still in business. That means you are improving your businesses through your feedback. You are improving your product, sorry, not business, through the feedback you get from the market. If they say, there's another product that came up and it has better benefit than Lacasera. The taste is better, it is thicker, and so on and so forth. You go back to the market again and begin to do research on what you can do to beat the qualities that people are running after in this particular product. That means that where your product is different from others, you must continuously work on it as long as you are in the market so that you are not consumed. When you finish with the product, like I said, you now begin to think about how to distribute your product in the chain of distribution. How, where is this product sold to customers? Where are the locations where sales are made? I did say something that you won't produce water or produce blocks, for instance, those who make blocks, and leave them in your block yard without taking them to the market. What is the essence of you investing money and leaving your products in the warehouse without pushing them into the market? It means you're not looking to get your money back with profit. Or maybe you just don't know what you're doing. So you need to find the location where your sales are made. I mean, the kind of product you have, sales are made for that product. Then you need to know intermediaries, such as your wholesalers. If you are producing something in mass, in bulk, you need to know where your wholesalers are, where the retailers are, where other sales agents are, and how to reach the end user. Now, I mentioned something about wholesaler, retailer, and sales agent before. When the wholesaler takes bulk of product from a factory of a manufacturer, he gives those products to several other people under him. They are called retailers. Those ones sell in little bits more than the wholesaler. Then these same retailers, other people will come to them again and pick the products in 10s, in 20s, in 30s. Those are the ones that sell directly to the customers on the street in the market. They are the ones who hold the money. They hold the ace in the whole process. They are the ones who will sell 10 like a seller and come back to you and pick 20. They are the ones who will sell 10 cartons of chicken and come back to the poultry and pick another 50 cartons. That's how they grow the business for you. The wholesaler might just invest his money in buying in bulk from you. And then on the line, it becomes a credit sales system. But the people will take and they will go and sell and return the money and it comes back like that, and the chain goes on and on like that. At that point where the sales agent is exchanging money, exchanging the good, collecting money, he has reached the end user. The purpose for which you did your production has been achieved. You produce anything you produce at all because you want to sell and get your money back with profit. Then the price of this your product. As you go into the market, you must know how to price your product. Okay? Because price generates income. And from the income, you get your profit. When your price is right and you sell well, you begin to see your return on investment. That's what we call profit. All other elements of the marketing mix, whatever you think of, whether it's water you drink while you are producing, it incurs costs. Even if you are making furniture, your time is cost, is money. The other resources you apply is money. So all the elements you are using in your marketing mix incur cost at one point or the other. So you must understand the relationship between cost, the price, and the profit at the end of the day. So what is cost? Cost is what it costs us to make any product, including the time, the materials, and the overheads involved. You understand what I mean by there's nothing you do that you won't spend money. You are spending money to get money. So that is the cost of your producing a particular product. Then the price. What can you charge in the marketplace based on the value? The value is how okay. Sorry for that interruption. So I was saying that your profit, can you take that? Your profit uh, is equal to your price minus the cost of production. If you produce, okay, your how you determine your profit is mute to that person. Somebody saw. How you determine your profit is you look at your production cost. Let us say this product costs you 300 naira to produce, and you have put a value on it. Remember, I spoke about value. Why somebody should invest in my product other than the other product. And you said, okay, even after producing, taking it to the market, to put it in the market, including the publicity I've done on this product, it cost me 300 naira. And I have another product that is already in the market that is selling for 400 naira. But as I came in, people say my own is better. So I'll now put my own at 450 or 500 is allowed. Somebody is buying from I have a profit of 200 or 1. Okay, let's look at how we promote our products, how we publicize our product, how we make our product known in the market. We'll consider who the customers are and how best we can reach them through communication. If we are in a market where people speak the local language instead of English, for instance. And we want to churn out communication material, maybe like radio commercial or TV commercial or even handbill leaflets that we want to use to communicate to those people. It's just basic fact that we'll use the language of communication in that place. If it is Hausa that is being spoken, or Igbo that is being spoken, or Yoruba that is being spoken instead of English, that's the language you use, and that is the best way you can reach them. If you go and start communicating in English and they don't understand, can anybody buy that product? Okay, so we need to find the best way we can reach, communicate to our target customers. Then we need to do market segmentation. What that means is that we'll look at the entire market and we'll divide, the overall target market into smaller sub-markets made up of people with the same needs, but different capacities. It helps you to target them in the right way. What it means is, before this time, when they make milk was coming in only can, abi? Milk was coming in, let's say pig milk, it was being produced in only can. Along the line, they saw the need to make it reach more numbers of people by introducing sachets, right? They introduced sachets, big sachets. Later on along the line, they found out that some people buying capacity is not much. They introduced smaller sachets. And lastly, they now introduce everyday sachets. Buy for the moment that you want to use. It is the same thing we're talking about. That's market. They divided the market into small subsets, and they are meeting the same need at every point in time, right? So in communicating, you do the same thing, and you can reach the same people with the same need. Under promotion, we also have sub-markets, like I said. You can use certain points to profile and divide your consumer markets correctly. For instance, the behavior of your target customers, their usage of your product, the frequency at which they buy, how many times do they buy this product per day, per hour, per week, so on and so forth, like bathing soap, for instance. If you take it for an individual, and because from individual you go to numbers, how many tablets of soap does an individual use a day? You know that an individual cannot use one tablet of soap in one day. So maybe in 1 week he will finish one tablet, maybe in 2 weeks, depending on the kind of soap. You understand? As he finishes that soap, he will come back to replace it because he needs to continue using the soap. That's the frequency of his purchase. For fast-moving consumer goods like Coca-Cola, like the people who smoke cigarettes, like people who drink beer, like people who eat fast food and all that, we call them fast-moving consumer goods. There are things that the frequency of purchase is so high. You understand? Small children that eat candies and chocolates and the rest of them. You find out that every time you go to the supermarket to buy anything, you must pick those things because as you are going home, the children are expecting that. Then the impression they have about using a particular product, and then how convenient it is for the person. That's the behavior part of the person, the behavior that makes him to continue to use your product. You need to know it so that when you are communicating or you are doing a promotion on that particular product, you know what to address. Then the character of the person we are talking about, his lifestyle, the personality. The personality is, when you define it, the person, is the kind of person that sets example for other people. Anything the man wears, that's what other people want to wear. You understand? It's a trend setter. Or is the person a follower? Anything people are doing, that's what he will do. The person that can be easily influenced. You need to know all those kind of characters. Then the socio-economic factors that affect the person's profession, his income, that is how much he earns in a month, his location, where is he staying, inside the town or the city center or the suburbs, and then the buying pattern, how often does he buy? Then loyalty. He has been drinking Coca-Cola since I knew him 35 years ago. They say you are loyal to that particular brand. He has been using Macklin's toothpaste since I know him. I haven't seen him with close-up. It shows your loyalty to a particular brand. Then the age of the person, and then gender. Gender is either the person is a man or a woman. Under promotion, we still have sub-markets. If we are segmenting a business market, we can consider the following factors also. The size of the company, the industry type. When we say industry, everybody may be into construction. But when you break down construction, you have those who are building, they call them builders. You have those who are architects, they are there. You have engineers, they are there. You have block makers, they are there. You have masons, they are there. All of them are under the same industry. Every business you do, you must belong to an industry. If it is water you are producing, of course, there are association of water producers. Underwater, the water industry, you have people who are making the cans, people who are making the leather. You understand? People who are making the machines that you are using to pot or to even put in the leather. You get the point. That's an industry of it. So that's what I would mean by this. Then the location where you are. We talked about location before, the place, the right place. You cannot be doing building materials business and not be in a building materials market, like the one in zone 5, right? That one is in the heart of the town, or in Day. Now you go and put your building material market inside the taco market. I mean, a business inside the taco market. You are not located anywhere. No person that wants to buy building material will come into the taco market. That's exactly what I'm trying to define here. Then the market, now you have done all these things and you have to go to the market. How do we now look at the market? First of all, there's a potential market. That is those in the total population, the entire population, who have interest in buying your product per time. You know that before, when you did your market research, before you decided to start producing hands-free for phone, you have seen accidents happen on the road because of people talking on the phone. You have seen people play music loud instead of using the hands-free on their set to hear music to only themselves. So through that your research, you discover that there is a need for hands-free, and then you went and produced hands-free, and it is selling. So there are the potential market are those already in that category that I have defined now, who have interest in acquiring that product immediately you bring it. Then there's the available market. The available market is those in this potential market that have enough money to buy this product every time, right? So when you are communicating, you know this particular set of people I'm talking about. The qualified also available market. There are still those in the available market who are legally permitted to buy the product. Now, there are ethical issues in communicating your product, legal issues too. Certain restrictions are placed on certain type of products. That's why you don't see them being advertised. That's why you don't see them on billboards, like alcohol, like cigarettes, like some medicines that you find in the pharmacy. They don't advertise them, and even if you go to the pharmacy, you have to have a prescription from the hospital before it can be sold. Those are what we mean by being legally permitted to buy a product. If you see in the past, before legal restrictions were put in place in Nigeria, a pack of cigarettes can be sold anywhere. They were advertising cigarettes every time of the day. Alcohol, the same thing. Condoms, you understand? But even when the restrictions came, you see a pack of cigarettes, they will say 18 plus. That means you have to be 18 years and above before you can buy it and use it. The same thing with alcohol. And the restriction further, place a ban on them not to advertise. It's still good not to advertise at all, but alcohol is not to advertise before 10 p.m. in the night. The essence is that children would have gone to sleep. You understand? So we put that in mind when we're also packaging our communication to the market. Then the target market, the segment of the qualified available market that you have decided to start. Your core people that you identified that will buy your product, that's your target market. So in general, market segmentation, when you divide the market into place, it is a marketing strategy which involves dividing the broad target market into subsets of consumers, businesses, or countries who have they are perceived to have common needs, interests, and priorities, and then designing and implementing strategies to target them. And these strategies, as we said before, we mentioned lifestyle, demographics, that is where you divide them into segments, and then the personality of the target market. Are we together? So now, getting our product noticed. Not every method will work for your business. Bear that in mind. And the methods you use can change as the business develops or grows. However, we must be very clear on the following. Our promotional tools, what message do we want to communicate? We need to know. Who is our audience? Who are we talking to? We need to know. And what is the best way to communicate with these people? I said it before. There are some people who are ardent listeners to radio. There are those who like to watch television. There are those who read newspapers. There are those who like handbills. When you pass handbills to them, they will read it and they can communicate with you through them. You need to know all those so that you know where you're spending your money. So how much, after knowing this, how much money do I have? You understand? What budget do I have? How much money do I have to spend on the communication vehicles I've chosen? And then what measure will I use to know if I've been successful? My feedback mechanism. You throw money into advertising, for instance, letting people know about, this is what we are doing. What is your feedback? You need to put a mechanism in place to assess your feedback. We're almost getting there. 6 main tools that we use for promotion. Number 1 is public relations, or what we call PR, which is about creating and maintaining an image. 6 tools we use for promotion. The first one is public relations, or what is popularly known as PR. Yeah. And it's about creating and maintaining an image for your business or product. Did you get me? Public relations essentially is about creating and maintaining an image for your business or product. And that is the essence of its value and integrity that forms the total reputation that you are trying to sell. Number 2 of the tools is advertising. Advertising is one word that all of us are very conversant with. Advertising is radio commercials, radio jingles, TV commercial, billboards, handbills, whatever makes us to be known, we are advertising. And there are 3 main reasons why we advertise our product. We do it to create awareness among the people who are targeted as our audience. And we also do it to persuade customers to buy our products. Why? I mean, how do we do that? We do that by selling the benefits of our products in our messaging. Ours contain X, 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 and X. If you take it, your malaria will be off you in one day. You understand? That we use that to persuade them, and then we use it to keep our company profile. And we are still here. We are still doing the same thing that you know us, right? Then others are promotional tools. I mean, the internet and online marketing under promotional. Mm. Sorry for that break in transmission. It was due to network issues, but we're back. I was talking about tools of promoting our products, and we just try to look at how we can use online marketing to advertise and communicate our product. And then for you to be able to do that, first of all, you need to have a well-designed and functional website that people can access, go into, and see what what products you have out there for them to see. Follow you, see your pricing, and see whether they can place orders from you. Another form of tool that we use again is direct marketing. Either you use direct mailing by sending letters to people, or email, or telephone marketing. These days, you can harvest numbers of telephone numbers of contacts that you have identified, write them down, and then you start calling them one by one, and trying to communicate your product. It's allowed. Now, from time to time, we hear that the company is conducting sales promotion. Sales promotion, we are in Christmas season now, during Salah celebration, during the National Day celebration as independence. You see people, they put together short-term activities to encourage customers to buy and boost their sales, just for the limited period of time. Anytime from now, you will begin to hear that companies are giving 20% discount. They are giving buy one and get one free. They are saying buy this and get this, and so on and so forth. That is what we mean by short-term activity. It can be in price reduction, like I said. They give some percentage off. They can give you vouchers to go and redeem, products or services. And you can buy one and get one free, and so on and so forth. But it is not encouraged that you do these things continuously. Like I said, it's short-term activity, because if you begin to do it continuously, it will begin to demean the value of your product in the market, as if you have some bad products they are trying to just go away with. Then, last but not the least, is personal selling. It enables you to listen to your prospective or existing customers' needs and allow you to convey the value of your business to the person. Personal selling is where you have the opportunity to directly sit before a prospect or a target market, and you can look at the person eyeball to eyeball, tell the person the feature of the product you have, and convince the person to buy. Eventually, you collect the person's money as value for your product in exchange. It also gives us the opportunity to have first-hand feedback on what complaints people could have about our products, and they can also tell us about what our competition is doing in the market. You may bring a lot of products to somebody, and he will tell you, this man even sold for me for less, and he gave me discount of this value, and so on and so forth. He has given you an information to hold on to. When you go back and do your mathematics, you can now either change your price or tweak your price to be in competition with such people that are competing with you in the market. So, in the overall, the marketing mix is a unique blend of products. The pricing, the promotion, the distribution, that is the place now, targeting a specific group of people. Okay? The people, you give them customer service. The reason why you give customer service is for you to continue to have that person as a customer to continue to buy your product. That's why you pick your phone. The man you have not seen in your shop for 2-3 days, you will call him. Okay, we haven't seen you in 2-3 days. What happened? Oh, my son is sick, or myself, I'm not feeling fine. And you can even pay the person a visit, because you need that person to be your customer for your business to continue to grow. That process is the process of handling customers' needs. And it can be a complaint. You have the opportunity to address that complaint. So, going through the marketing process, you understand the customer's need and his wants. Then you design your customer-driven market strategy, which we have looked at in the last slide. And then you put together a concise marketing program that will guarantee you building a profitable relationship between yourself and your customer. At the end of the day, you get value from the customer, and that value is when your salespeople exchange that product for the money they will collect. So first of all, you understand the customer's need and his wants, and how you do this, you research, right? You ask the right questions. You ask consumers the right questions, and then even in the marketplace, you ask your questions. And then you manage your marketing information and customer data. Once you have already asked your question, of course, when I want to ask you a question, I'll take your name, your number, your email address, and so on and so forth, and put it somewhere. When I want to now communicate with you, I'll go back to that my data bank and then begin to make a call or send an email or whatever to you. We select the customers we serve, okay, through our marketing segmentation that we said initially. It's not everybody that you throw your products at. It is those who have the need that you have already found through your research that you target and throw your product to those people so that you can get value for your money. Are we together? Then the value proposition, like I said, there must be something differentiating your product from the other people. So you must continuously work on it. So your marketing program should deliver value. The product and service designs. The product must be Whoa, welcome back. And sorry again for another network challenge there. So we're looking at the third phase of the marketing process. And I did say that when you finish with your product, the packaging must be very strong. You turn it into a very strong brand that people can identify with in the market. Your price must be the real value. If you overprice your product, it means you are pushing yourself out of the market. If you underprice your product, you are making your product inferior to the competition in the market. So you look at the competition vis-a-vis your investment process and create a value and put a price on your product. Then you manage the demand and supply, because the moment you enter the market, people will begin to, when people begin to know you, they will begin to like place orders through either your dealers or sub-dealers or your wholesalers for you to satisfy them in terms of their product need. And you need to have products on the ground per time. As long as there is demand, make sure that you are producing enough to meet your market needs. If not, somebody else will fill your gap. And of course, continuously promote your product. Finally, in maintaining our identified customers, we need to build a profitable relationship with them. That is to say, we have to do customer relationship management. I think I've said something about this before. With our existing customers, the fact that the customer is already established with you and is buying from you per time does not mean that you should not check on the customer. It doesn't mean that you should not find out if the customer has other needs around your product that you need to satisfy. If you give a gap, other competitors will move in, and that will mean that you are losing business on that side. Then your product, relationship management with your suppliers also. You need to keep a very good relationship with your suppliers, because other products also competing for your needs. People producing your particular type of product, they are there in the market, plenty. And the moment they are not, managing your dealer or your supplier, or your wholesaler well, you are creating the opportunity for you to lose that relationship. Then, the essence of why you are in the market is to make profit, is to generate revenue and earn some profit. So that is like capturing value from customers in return for the product you have sold to them. And they need to create the loyalty of that customer. You need to make him satisfied so that he's permanently with you. He's permanently with you. When he thinks detergent, he knows that he's going to Liver Brothers, or he knows that he's going to Reckitt and Coleman, and so on and so forth. Then, if you are doing that per time, as time goes on, you are increasing your market share by managing your customers well, by managing your dealers well. People who want to buy from, people continuously come back to buy from you, and you get referrals. It means that the volume of business you are doing in the market will be increasing. That is increasing your market share. And tied into all these things that were seen in the last few slides is the importance of market research in our product development cycle. Why do we carry out research? Why do we ask questions? It helps us in decision making and validation. It helps us in putting our marketing strategy together and planning the execution of our strategy. It also helps us to carry out our cost-benefit analysis, and then to look at products and the process of developing those products. You can have a product that is strong in the market and realize that through asking questions, people are asking you, why don't you make it available for us in smaller bottles or in smaller cartons so that it becomes affordable in terms of their spending power. We also carry out research because we want to find new opportunities. We want to focus our efforts on what will be more profitable for us, and we want to monitor the performance of our product in the market. But there are some challenges when you are carrying out research, when you are trying to access market information. A lot of times you get information overload. What we call information overload is too many information that you don't need is flowing back to you. And if you are using the internet like what is happening to us here now, you may have poor internet access. You understand? You can, there's a situation where there's lack of availability of internet at all, where the network is not supporting you. So whatever you're trying to find out online, you're sending out research questions to people. You're entering people's email and then asking them questions. You can't even, people will not respond to you because the network is not available. We have seen it happen. And then sometimes even if the data, the network is available, the cost of buying data is high. Okay? And then there could also be lack of training, the skills that you need to be able to perform some things online. A lot of people don't have it. They don't have the patience. They might even have the biggest phone or the best computer, but they don't even know how to apply or use it. Like you're laughing, but that's what is happening. So but we need to get these skills. We need to find time and be able to do some things on our phone. That's why we spend money to buy it. You understand? So it's just time to learn. Then there's also lack of awareness for our local institutions providing market information. Now this is very, very important. If you are an agri person, let's say you're a poultry farmer, you are supposed to belong to a poultry farmers association. You understand? That's your local institution now. You're supposed to belong to a cooperative. You're supposed to do your business with a microfinance bank that has some certain level of information that you can get from them. But a lot of us don't. But as we go on in this course, you begin to see, and I believe you have seen in the last 3 modules, the importance of some of the things we take for granted. You need to belong to your own particular institution or association so that when there is, like what you are training for now, there might be grants or something for certain category of people. But because you don't participate, you wouldn't know it, will just pass you by. That's what we are trying to say here. Then sometimes you want to carry out research, but there's limited resources, right? And limited resources can make you not to visit markets, not to attend trade fairs. There's a trade fair going on in Airport Road, Abuja Trade Fair ground now. I'm making garments. I have the tailoring or the fashion designing outfit. I should be there. I'm selling data. I should be there. You understand? I'm selling aluminum. I should be there. I'm selling glasses. I should be there. That is what it means. But sometimes some people cannot buy space there because of money. And once you don't do this, you don't do your market visit, you don't attend exhibitions like trade fairs, and you don't carry out this research process, they are not looking at it as a priority, but at the end of the day, it will hurt you. So how do we get data from the market, these types of sources of our research data? There is the primary data, then there is the secondary data. You know by definition that primary is direct, secondary is second-hand. So let's look at secondary data first. Secondary data is gotten from external sources, like government. You understand? I am into rice farming now. I need to know about what government is doing, maybe through Nigeria Agri Bank or Bank of Industry. I'm into large cropping of rice. So it's from government institutions like the Ministry of Agri, like the Bank of Agri, like the Bank of Industry. I get my external information on what is available for me as a mechanized rice farmer. Okay. From business, we get data also. Data is information. That's what we mean here, not the data for network. We get from business and trade associations. I just made mention of it. Your cooperative, your group of, if you, like I said, you're into poultry, your poultry farmers association. If you're into fishery, your fishery farmers association. If you're into whatever you're into, you must have an furniture making, printing, whatever. So you get your information from these business and trade associations. Then you can also extract information from trade magazines and newspapers. Trade magazines like those who into properties and whatever in Abuja, you will see some magazine that vendors carry on the street. It's called Tenders Magazine also. Yes. That's what it means. Now, you see, the importance of this training, like I said earlier on, things that you see, things that you are even participating in, it was not espoused to you until you started these classes. The last 3 classes plus this now will broaden your knowledge about certain things that you just look at and bypass. There is nothing here that you don't know, but how to look at it as an entrepreneur is what you are going through in this training. So when you get these trade magazines and even newspapers, like, let me give you an example. If you're a job seeker, or if you're somebody who works for, who is a service industry person, like a marketer, like a lawyer, like, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, that Daily Trust and The Guardian, there are pages for advertisement for jobs, right? There are bidding advertisement and whatever, the recruitment. If you know that, if you look at The Guardian on Thursdays and Tuesdays, look at Daily Trust on Thursdays and Tuesdays. You get my point now. So there are certain newspapers and trade magazines that gives you certain information. Make use of them. Then there are financial institutions. A lot of us who are entrepreneurs at our small level or who intend to become entrepreneurs, we don't know that we need microfinance banks, the services of microfinance banks. The essence of microfinance banks and other smaller institutions is to address what's called small and medium scale enterprises. If you go to a Zenith Bank, your request for a facility will be consumed because you are just a small fry. But if you are dealing with a small microfinance bank like Nisra, supposing you are successful with your loan application, you will find out that as the business is growing, even when you have not liquidated this particular loan yet, but they see the growth of your business and you are establishing another line of that business, facility could be given to you. That's what it means. Certain information you need to get. Sometimes you go to the bigger banks, the staff, they don't even know it. Am I communicating? And this is a fact. I've done it before, so I know. So you also get information from national trade publications. I would say national trade publications like, I don't know if any of us here remember what is called Yellow Pages. Those days, big, you get, what is it called? Addresses, telephone numbers, those are the kind of, that the national trade publication we're talking about, There are additional sources of information like business libraries, like trade directories like I just mentioned. Then your professional institutes. No, but whatever profession you are in, even if you are a trader, there is a Chamber of Commerce and Industry. That's your professional institute. Whatever you are doing, you belong to one organization or the other. Those ones give us our secondary source of data. Then our primary source of data basically is through research. Do you understand? The market research we talked about, the asking questions we talked about. Now, there's a wide range of things you consider. The population size, the demography of the population, the pattern, and then the national production volume. Well, this one is beyond us. But at the individual level, when we say one-on-one, which we have talked about before, it is very easy to get respondent to answer your questions. You write your questions down if you want to do direct interview, and then you seek an appointment. The person gives you an appointment, then you now begin to ask, what do you think about my product? What do you think about my price? What is competition? You are writing everything. You are capturing that primary information. Then you can do it also through the best known method, which is market research survey, through the administration of questionnaires. You don't have to be there directly now. You send people out to send out questionnaires for people to fill, and they go out to pick it. For those who cannot fill themselves, you administer it to them and stay with the person and help the person to fill. It's normally done face to face or through telephone or through email. You understand? Like I said, these are things we know. But we are now refreshing our memory to make us know that as entrepreneurs, some basic information we are getting from here is what we need to succeed with our product in the market. Primary research data is qualitative. Why? Because it examines people's feelings and attitude towards a particular product. For instance, what motivates somebody to buy a product? What motivates somebody to stop using a product? Do you understand? You can only get that through primary data. A lot of things that you cannot get by sitting back in your office, it comes to you because you are in a face-to-face situation. Like I said, the best known technique or method that we normally use is through market research administration of a questionnaire. You understand? It's like you do it through one person, or you gather 6 people or 10 people or 20 people. The matter here is you just want to extract data to help you refocus your product in the market. You can also get data online. You can harvest data online. You visit subjects and sites of interest concerning the product you are pushing in the market. You also acquire market data from the internet. What does market data help you to do? What percentage of the market am I servicing? What percentage am I losing? What percentage could I serve eventually if I improve my services? Are we communicating? So the market information collection techniques include, like I said, Googling. What they say these days, talk to the oracle. You Google whatever you want to Google. You Google, the information will come out for you there, and then you pick what you want from there, so that you are not having information overload. So primary research technique is basically observation, interviews, and then surveys and questionnaires. Sometimes there are challenges you face when you go into the market to get data. You understand? Sometimes you have harvested the data from the primary source and the secondary source, but you need to marry the two together to get the exact information you want to get, because there could be constraints on secondary data, research data sometimes, and there could be absence of specific information. Remember that I said the primary research method gives you better answers because you are on a face-to-face situation and you can ask questions and get your answers back immediately. Then secondary information, sometimes there's difficulty in identifying what is relevant, what information is relevant to what you're looking for. And sometimes you want information, but it's protected. You understand? If you are looking for information in the public service, in the public office, they will tell you that is it gazetted or whatever. There's a language they use, classified. You won't be able to access such information. Then sometimes some information through the secondary data are actually available, but they are not usable. They have asked the question now, somebody provided you this information, but you cannot use it. Or sometimes the information is contradictory to what you are looking for. Those are some small snacks you have with secondary research data. So in setting our objectives for why we do research, we will look at how does our company now decide what information to collect. That is, we are the owner of the product, but we really need to have to decide what information will be useful to us to go and ask questions about in the market. And then what will the research be used for? If we spend money on carrying out this exercise, what are we going to use it for? And how should the company respond to the findings of the research from the field? So by the time we have done this, there are things we need to know about the customers that we are going out to meet. Who are these customers that we want to ask these questions? Are they decision makers? That is the owner of the company. That is the top manager of the company. Those are decision makers. We need to know their needs. We need to know their wants and what problems we want to solve for them. We also need to know what motivates them to buy our product and the value they perceive our product to be. From them, we found out who our competition is. You understand? Because after we have identified the market, we have to build an understanding of the competitive environment we are operating in. And it is through the questioning of even the target customers that we'll get to know who our competition is. That way, we place a value on our equation. In conclusion, we encourage you as you go into the market to conduct market research all the time. As in your product life cycle, continue to conduct research. If not, Coca-Cola will not be advertising. Guinness will not be advertising. I don't know if I'm making a point. It is because they are continuously in the market researching that they know if they add one, and the moment they add one, they will begin to campaign it. That is why, as popular as all these companies are, they continue to spend money on advertising. And the only way what guides them to do the real, messaging of the advertising is market research. Having looked at that, in running the course of the last portion of this module, we'll be looking at our selling skills. Now we have done the market. We have beautified the product. We have found the market. We have found the target. We have packaged the product. We have done our distribution chain. Now, how do we sell our products? Not everybody is a salesman. People just believe that they can sell anything or they can sell anyhow, but it's not true. There are certain things you need to know about sales to be able to succeed. Not particularly as a salesperson, but as a producer. In the first place, what do customers care about? Customers that we service, what do they actually care about? Long and short of it is that customers care for themselves, what they want, what they need, what their desires are. That's what customers care for. They don't care about you that is providing the service or product. But as long as you are meeting their wants, needs, and desires, they are good to go. So what do they buy? Having identified the customer, now what do they buy? What you should know first thing about your customer is who are they? I've asked this question before. Are they decision makers? Is it somebody that, as you brought the product to the shop, the person will look at it and say, yes, I can try this. Okay, leave 15 cartons. I'll really check for you next week. Come. That's a decision maker. Is it somebody that will say, wait, so let my Oga come. I will show it to him. You understand? Before they come, that's the messenger. If they are decision maker, what is their need? What is their want? What do you need to solve that problem? You understand? Then that time you will now be You will not be in a position to know that there are certain skills you need as a salesperson. So what are the skills you need as a salesperson? Number one, you need to be an effective communicator. That is, you need to be able to talk to somebody, hear somebody, and get something out of the person. You need to have the ability to listen. Some people just talk, and they are not listening even to themselves. The ability to listen is not only when you are paying apt attention through your ear. You can listen with your eyes. You can listen with your body, right? You need to ask questions properly, not shabbily. So you want a direct answer, hit a direct question. Then you need to be a problem solver, somebody who can look at this situation and say, okay, this is what we will do to address this situation, and it will be done. You need to be well organized, right? You don't need to, if you are scattered, even your looks alone will put off your potential customer. You need to be a self-starter, somebody who can kickstart himself. Wake up in the morning and say, this is what I want to achieve. And you need to be a finisher. If you start something, you must finish it. You also need good manners. You need to be well-mannered, and you need to handle people cautiously. And then be naturally persuasive. Be naturally persuasive. We're writing, but the slides are there. They are for you. They will come to you eventually if they are not already in your box. Right? Yes. Learning is by listening. Okay? So you need to be naturally persuasive. You need to have to convince somebody to make up his or her mind on what you are selling. So what attitude do you need to make a good salesman? You need to have a positive attitude, nothing negative about you. You need to develop an attitude of persistence. How to persist, how to worry somebody. Like that boy, what was that video that time? That little boy that wanted to calm down. You need to be able to, yes, you have to persist, and then as you are persisting, be determined that this thing, I want this person to buy it. That's right. That's how the boy was. Calm down, he got his mother to do what. So you also need to develop an attitude of superior quality. What I'm selling, another person does not have it in the market. Don't pretend about it. That is what people want to see. Confidence, So, and a selling attitude requires you always to maintain a pleasant personality. Like I said, there must be nothing scattered about you. You must look well dressed, well kept, and not to say you're wearing expensive. At least whatever it is, you are calm and collected. And then before you do anything else, you sell yourself, number one. Number two, you know your product. You can't sell what you don't know or what you don't have. That means you must have a hands-on knowledge of this product that you are selling. You must have it on your fingertips. If they ask you about this, the answer is here. If they ask you about that, the answer is there. Then the value of the equation of this product. When you are explaining to the person, this is why mine is more superior to this and that. These are the values inbuilt. This is the reason why you should buy. That is the value equation you are pushing there. Then you will know your competition. Like I said, don't deceive yourself that I'm coming into the market that there is nobody in that market. If there's nobody in that market, is there anything that is new in this life? There's nothing that is new. Anything you bring, there's one or two other people that are already there. So you need to know who your competition is and how to place your product. Then you know why your customers should buy from you instead of your competition. I said, why should your customer buy that product from you instead of your competition? We have gone through this before. So, no, we'll take questions later. No, we will take questions later. Let me just finish with the lecture. So, what makes you think that the customer should jettison the competition's product and buy yours? It has to be in the back of your mind always. even in your packaging process, in your pricing process, in your placing the product process, in the promotion we talk about process, you need to know. So having done all that, you now put yourself in a position to sell. Then when you get into the position to sell, you target your customer, right? You know who the decision maker is. Who am I going to speak to in that office that will give me what I want immediately in terms of answer? If I come into this office now, if I look through, I'll be looking for the man that is, or the woman that is sitting in the deepest office. That's where the guys will always sit. So I will seek the attention of that person. But there are some people that are not in that office that can also take decisions because they are empowered to. So you need to find out who is who in the hierarchy of before you throw yourself up and then execute your plan, consistently. If you can't do it and you won't do it, then hire somebody to do it. The reason why you hire people in different type of jobs within your organization is because you don't have that skill. And what kills the business the most as an entrepreneur is I know it all. You understand? I can do the marketing, I can do the selling, I can do the production. Meanwhile, you don't have the knowledge, but you have the capacity to put it together. It is in the process of putting it together as they are working every other day that you learn to master it yourself. But from the beginning, you don't know. Or even going down the lane, you don't want to know, so you hire. So when you want to visit, when you want to make a sales call, there are processes you need to put in place to prepare for that call. You need to package yourself. I've said it before. You don't come sit down before a prospect smelling, thinking mouth, dirty stockings, and you think the person will be put off. You should not have anything negative around you at all. Everything about you should be positive. You need to research your client before you even set out to go and make that call. And you need to be on time when you are given the time. When you are given 3 p.m., make sure you are there 15, 30 minutes to the time. Because skipping your time will put your customer off, number one. Number two, other things will take your place at that particular time. You may not get that opportunity again. And then when you are with the person, be observant, listen. And eventually, when you get there, how do you present your pitch? That's the sales presentation now. The approach, the presence of your personality, you are there. The objections, that's the questions you expect. They must ask you questions, and you need to provide answers. And when you have provided the answers correctly, what goes on next is, how much is this your product? Well, okay, you said this, I said this. Why do you expect me to buy your product at this? And then the other person's product is at that price. Must it be your own I should buy? Can't I buy this one? You know what that process is called? Negotiation. You are already negotiating. And when you negotiate well, you close a deal. Even if it's a trailer load of product you got, the person will buy them and will issue you either a check or whatever means of whatever or payment that he will do for you. When you get the attention of a decision maker, in the body of your presentation, you make sure you use all senses possible. You know how many senses you have. You use all senses possible. And you should be aware of clues. When you are talking too long and somebody is getting tired, and showing your body language, becoming shifty or shifting papers, you should, know that your time is winding up. And when questions are asked, provide answer. Provide the answer and such things, etc. Sell the benefits of your product whenever you have that opportunity. Sell the benefit. It's your unique selling proposition, and it is the value that makes people to take the decision on buying your product. Objections are your best friends. I said it that you get to a point where there will be objection, like questions. It's like the client telling you how to sell to them, as if you don't know how to sell your products. Has it happened to anybody before? You go to meet a client, you are selling the product or service to him. He's telling you that he has superior knowledge of the product, and he's telling you how to sell to. Expect it. Don't get angry about it. You understand? If he says he knows how to sell more than you, restate the objection that you have just said and knock it off with your superior knowledge, because you know the product you have come to sell. Answer in terms of your product's benefits. You know so much about other products in that category, but this is the reason why my own is like this. And then you move on. Every time you negotiate, remember we're still in the process of negotiation. That's why somebody is telling you how to sell your product. Make sure that your negotiation ends with a trial. We expect that what most of us are going to do is fast-moving products, consumer products. If it is this like a Sarah brand that I brought for you, you understand? By the time I finish talking with you and we have gone back and forth, I'll say test it. If I open it, I'll test it, and I say test it. Do you understand? Now that is a trial. In concise direct marketing, we call it invoking trial. The person, the essence is that if the person tries this product, and you might say, "Oh wow, I like the taste of this one. Oh, it tastes nice," and can decide to take the decision of buying that product. If you get a no for an answer, I don't want to buy this product. Ask the person why not. We have spent some time talking, right? You try the product. Don't take a no for an answer as much as possible. Don't take a no for an answer. Even if there is no objection, like I said, you negotiate. And then after the trial, you close the deal. And you say, you close this by saying, will you take these products I brought now, for instance? Or do I deliver for you next week or next 2 days? You understand? If the person says, we don't have money on hand, we like the product, but we don't have money, what will you say? Is that the only thing stopping you from buying? And if that is the only thing stopping you from buying, okay, you can have the product. When do you want us to come back for a check? That makes you a good salesman. You have closed the deal. You understand? And if that one finishes or you met the person without product, always make sure that the person orders your product. Cajole the person. That's what we do. Power of persuasion to buy your product. There are some important tips that we have already talked about, but let's look at it again. Listening, you listen. Listen more than you talk. When you are talking to a customer, the customer is your king. Listen to him more than you talk. Don't ever talk over your client. Just listen to what he has to say and then provide the solution. And every time, always ask for order. Like I say, if you don't have your product with you, but you run into somebody or a group of people that want to buy your product, always order. Always make sure they order from you. And then ask for referrals. Asking for referrals is like, I've satisfied your needs. I've brought the products to you. You are happy with them. I say, okay, can you give me 1 or 2, 3 people, 4, 5, 10 people that I can also go sell this? I have a friend in wholesale market. There's another one in Garki international market. This is their number. That's referrals. Make sure you get those things because you are expanding your market share and the volume of your sales. Having done all that, like I said, that it is the time of selling that customer service comes to play. That not at the time of your marketing plan. You have acquired the customer already. So you need to service the customer. You have to answer every phone call that comes in. You understand? Don't put people on voice menu. I'll call you back, or you put somebody on hold. It's not a good customer service practice. Learn how to resolve problems now. If issues arise, solve them now. And honor your time frames. When you tell somebody, I will get this thing fixed for you next tomorrow, ensure you get it fixed next tomorrow. Or if you don't fix it next tomorrow, call and say why it can't happen that next tomorrow. Complaints are your friends. You get to show how good you are, really, if you can withstand complaint. When somebody complains about your product, it's not killing your product. It's trying to make sure that you improve on what you are offering him. You understand? So learn to take in complaints. And when you're handling complaints, don't argue. Apologize even if you are not wrong. Like I said, the customer is always the king. So apologize even if you are the one that is not wrong. And always give time frame to resolve problem. If the problem is a 1 week problem, you can start to say in 10 days. And if you solve it before that 10 days, yeah, you get a thumbs up from the customer. If you cannot meet the time, like I say, call and extend. It doesn't kill you. It's just cautious that you should call and extend the time. Let them know that you care for them and that you are involved with them. That's a customer being pampered. He has to be pampered because with him remaining with you, your market is sure. But unfortunately, there are three most common sales mistakes that people make. Not listening to the buyer. And this stems from the Mr. Know Your All syndrome. A buyer that has money in his pocket that wants to buy your product is talking to you about that product and you don't want to listen to him. Maybe with the attitude of, if you want to buy. If you don't want to buy, let me go. Hey, if you don't sell, are you going to eat the what you have gone to the market with to sell? Another mistake we make is we don't ask for order when we have the opportunity. Don't ask people to place order. You understand? I come into this office and I've spoken to one or two people about maybe I make some fine shirts or something. And this is fine, this is fine. And I'm looking at the person is looking at me. It's not to fact I do that. But no, but you don't do that. They are supposed to ask, if not for them to buy immediately, to place order from you so that you can sell. Because the essence of your producing is to sell for profit. And importantly, last but not the least, is forgetting to sell to existing customers. In the quest of you're looking for new customers all the time, you forget that you have already, gotten some customers in the past. You forget to sell to them. You understand? Maybe because they are not calling you. And once you make that mistake, you have opened the door for competition to take over from your customer. And it is to the detriment of your business. So always remember the customer. No matter how long the relationship is. You understand? Customer service is the key to everything you want to do, from your marketing mix to your sales program. Thank you very much. Through this course we have taken now, we will be applying our knowledge in the quiz that the program manager will administer on you. We'll go for a 5 minutes break and then we can interact. We can take questions and answers. 5 minutes break. Hello, class. Hello. Before we take our quiz, can we interact? Questions and comments, please. On YouTube. Hello, Uche.
Hello, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
I hope you grab the basic understanding of the sales and marketing strategy for products.
Really? Okay.
You have some questions?
No, not really.
I presume yeah, okay.
Yes, I really followed up.
Okay. Where are the rest in the class now? Okay, in the absence of further questions, we can just close and take the quiz, and then we'll wait for tomorrow's module. Thank you very much for your time. See you soon.